morning friends. Again we are over here at Sachdeva College online tutorials, and today we are going to have a discussion over the question related to sitting arrangement. Today we will have a session over the new pattern of sitting arrangement where questions related to mixed facing are asked in the sitting arrangement section. What do we mean by question related to mixed facing? That is, in traditionally what we have seen that the questions are related to that 7 people are sitting in a row and they are facing in north direction, or 10 people are facing in south direction. But in this particular kind of question, what you can see to it, that some of the persons are facing in north direction and some of the persons are facing in south direction. Now, the question that I am going to discuss today will be related to mixed facing, and in that particular question, you will come to realize what do we mean by facing in same direction and also facing in opposite direction. Along with it, we will learn the correct approach of solving this particular kind of a question, so that you can go on through solving this question in the time specified given time, and you can solve it with 100% accuracy. Okay friends, so let's begin with the question related to sitting arrangement. In this particular question, we can see to it, the question has a language that 8 persons, namely A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H, are sitting in a straight line from east to west. Some are facing in north and some are facing in south direction. When we talk about this particular kind of question, then this becomes a headache for students, because we have a habit of solving these questions with linear arrangement. Either the people are facing north or the people are facing south. But the new trend of questions that can be seen in the examination is some of the people are facing north and some of the people are facing south. And again, what you can see to it, that again a new language that can be seen in this particular section is facing in same direction. That is, H sits third to the left of C and faces south. F is sitting at one of the extreme ends and is facing north. B and G are facing in same direction. Now, what do we mean by facing in same direction? The first question arises over here. Then, the next thing is, and the person sitting between them is facing in opposite direction. Again, we have a second line, facing in opposite direction. What does this mean? This is a kind of a question that can be seen in your IBPS. We have a sentence like B and G are facing in same direction. The first thing that we can see is facing in same direction. A new term that could be seen in the sitting arrangement section. Then again we have person sitting between them is facing in opposite direction. Again a new term that can be seen in the sitting arrangement section. Now, this particular kind of question is important for your SBI, PO and clerical exams, along with your IBPS, PO and clerk exam. Okay? Now, how to solve this question is a big headache for the students. Now, whenever these kind of questions comes, the only thing that you can do is that you must follow a correct approach to solve these kind of questions. When we are trying to solve these kind of questions, then the correct approach that could be possible is that whenever you see this question, then what we have is that the arrangement that we do is like this. 8 persons are sitting in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. But as soon as you see the questions related like some are facing north and some are facing south, and again you have facing in same direction, then again facing in opposite direction, then be confirmed with one thing. वो confirmation क्या होना चाहिए कि इस particular question में कहीं ना कहीं पर आपको आगे जाकर के confusion जरूर होगा. यानी there will be n number of options, that is you have to go through different choices, that this can also be possible and again this can also be possible. For that, the safest approach can be that in the beginning itself you may begin with 2 set of arrangements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now we have 2 set of arrangements for this particular given question. Now start solving this question, but before solving this question, be prepared that when you are solving, try on to write down the rough notes of this question, because this is a kind of a lengthy question, and when you are solving a lengthy question, then what will happen? If you will not write down, that is if you will not jot down the rough notes, then what will happen is that you will have to read the question and again and again. Now, when you are reading the question again and again in the examination, then that is not affordable in the examination schedule, because you get very less time to solve this particular kind of question. Okay. Now, let's begin with this particular solution of this particular kind of question. That is, H sits third to the left of C. H sits third to the left of C. Then we have rough notes like number 1. H sits third to the left of C. If we consider C as north facing, it can be possible that C is north facing or C is south facing. Then if we consider C as north facing, then we have a solution like H sits third to the left of C. H sits third to the left of C. 1, 2, 3. H is sitting third to the left of C. Yes or no? Now, the next thing is, the another possibility is C can be facing south. So if we consider C is facing south, then what is the arrangement? That H is sitting third to the left of C. When we are talking about left of C, then we have H this side. 1, 2, 3. H will be sitting here. Now, and faces south. Yet this and faces south is related to whom? H. Okay? Because the sentence has begin with H. So H is facing south. There is a confirmed position of H, that H is facing south. Then F is sitting at one of the extreme ends. Here we get the solution that why did we took the approach of two arrangements. I said F is sitting at one of the extreme ends. Now, when we are talking about that F is sitting at one of the extreme ends, then it means that F will be sitting on the left end or F will be sitting on the right end. And then it is mentioned that and is facing north. It means what? F is facing in north direction. We can see is F is facing in north direction. Now we have two possibilities for F. F is sitting in left or F is sitting in right. The next thing is B and G are facing in same direction. Now, where this B and G are facing, where this B and G are sitting, how many persons are between them? In the next line, and the person. It means only one person is sitting between B and G. Now we can say that. Next rough information is that B and G are facing in same direction. So B and G can face north. Again we have B and G are facing in same direction. B and G can face south. Again another possibility is B and G are facing in same direction. We can have this na in north GB. Yes or no? We have BG, then again we have GB. So again we have BG, then we can have GB. तो हमारे पास चार पॉसिबिलिटीज आ रही हैं बी और जी को लेकर के, है या नहीं? अब हम बात करते हैं एंड द पर्सन सिटिंग बिटवीन देम इज फेसिंग इन अपोजिट डायरेक्शन. नाउ व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय अपोजिट डायरेक्शन? अगर ये दोनों सेम डायरेक्शन में फेस कर रहे हैं, मतलब दोनों ही एक डायरेक्शन में फेस कर रहे हैं, यहां पर मेंशन नहीं है. इट इज नॉट मेंशन दैट ईदर दे आर फेसिंग इन नॉर्थ और दे आर फेसिंग इन साउथ डायरेक्शन. सो वी हैव टेकन फोर पॉसिबिलिटीज फॉर बी एंड जी, दैट इज फॉर द सेम डायरेक्शन. द नेक्स्ट थिंग मेंशन्ड इन द क्वेश्चन इज दैट and the person sitting between them is facing in opposite direction. When we are talking about the person is sitting between opposite direction, then it means that the person sitting between B and G is facing in opposite direction. If B and G are facing north, so the person sitting between them will be facing in south. अगर ये दोनों उत्तर दिशा की ओर मुख कर बैठे हैं, तो बीच वाला कौन होगा? दक्षिण दिशा की ओर देख रहा होगा. Then again we have north, then opposite direction will be south. Here we have south facing, then opposite will be north. South facing, then opposite will be north. Yes or no? Now, the next line, A is sitting third from the left end. This is a confirmed position of A. That is, A is sitting third from left end. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we have two possibilities for A. Now, A is sitting third from left end. A is sitting for third from left end. Both the positions are fixed in both the conditions. Yes or no? Now, when I am talking that A is sitting third from left end and is facing in south direction, then direction of A is also confirmed that A is facing in south direction. Then A is adjacent to E and both are facing in opposite direction. A is adjacent to E. What do we mean by adjacent? that is A and E are sitting next to each other. So there are two possibilities, that AE or EA. Now we have A is facing in south direction and E is facing in from south and is facing in south direction. A is adjacent to E and both are facing in opposite direction. Again we have the term facing in opposite direction. It means what? If A is facing south, then E will be facing in north direction. So it becomes confirmed that E will be facing in north direction. Now we have these three kind of rough notes. Again, D is sitting to the right of B. D is sitting to the right of B and both are facing in same direction. Now, here the rule of elimination comes. We have D is sitting to the right of B and both facing in same direction. Now, if we go for the rough note, D is sitting to the right of B. If D will be sitting this side, because B is facing north and right of B is this, then are they facing in same direction? No. So we will assume this assumption as wrong. This possibility is wrong. Again, if we will go with this, then B is facing in south direction and right of B will be this side. Now there is a possibility that D can face in same direction. So this can be taken up. Now again, B is facing north and D is sitting to the immediate right of B. So same direction is possible. So again this can also be taken up. But if we say that B is facing south and D is sitting to the immediate right of B, then D will be sitting this side. Now, are B and D facing in same direction? No. So, this particular possibility can again be omitted, that is eliminated. Okay? Now, we have two possibilities regarding the sitting arrangement of B and G, B, G, D and G, B, D. Now, let's move forward. C is facing in north direction. Again, we got a confirmation that C is facing in north direction. So when C is facing in north direction, then we can see that this possibility can be again eliminated because we have assumed that C is south facing. So we cannot use this in arrangement of these two sections. Okay? Now, then we have A and D are not neighbors. A and D are not neighbors. It means what? For both of them, D is not the immediate neighbor of A. For both of them, D is not the immediate neighbor of A. Next. Neighbors of H are facing in same direction, which is opposite to the direction of H is facing. Again, neighbors of H are facing in same direction. What do we mean by that? That the neighbors sitting beside H are facing in same direction. The neighbors sitting beside H are facing in same direction. But what is given? Which is opposite to the direction of H is facing. Now we can see that H is facing south. H is facing south. And the immediate neighbors are facing in opposite direction of H. And they both are in same direction. Okay? Now, the last one is E sits to the right of A. E sits to the right of A. When we are talking about that E sits to the right of A, then we have A is facing south. Then right will be this side. Yes or no? A is facing south, so right idhar hoga. Now, this is not possible. If A is facing south, then E can be sitting on the right of A, because when we talk about south facing, then this is what? Right, and this is what? Left. Okay? Now, EA. Here we have A, so E will be sitting this side. Here we have A, so E will be sitting this side. And A is facing south and E is in opposite direction. So E will be in north direction. Okay? Now, when we talk about the possibilities, now we have done with all the informations given in the question. Now, after completing the informations given in the question, what we can do is, that we have to go through the rough notes that we have prepared, and now there is no need to read this particular kind of question. Now go through this. We have D, B, G. We have two assumptions. Let's assume the first assumption. We have D, B, up arrow G. D not possible. D, B not possible. D is not possible over here. D, B, up arrow G. यहाँ तो F बैठा हुआ है. F is already sitting. It means this assumption cannot be considered over here. So this assumption can be omitted in second arrangement. Now look for this. G space B, not possible. G space BD. G space BD, not possible. Only possibility is G space BD. As soon as we get G space BD, the next position of the arrangement can be H and C. There are two persons sitting between H and C. So we need H space C. Is it possible? No, it is not possible. Again, H space C. Is it possible? No, it is not possible. So we come to a conclusion that this particular kind of arrangement is not correct. This is not correct, that we have taken for the second time. Now, if we look at the first arrangement, what is the possibility? The possibility is like this, that D, B space G. We cannot make D seated over here because the position of D is not allowed over here. Okay? Now, there is a possibility that these two assumptions can be implemented in the first arrangement. Now, if we consider D, B space G, then we have D, B. D cannot be seated here because D is not the neighbor of A. So we can have D, B space G space G. Yes or no? Now, if D is seated here, then D is facing south. B is seated here, then D is facing again south. Now, if we will make seated H and C, then what will happen? H will sit this side and H is also facing south. H will sit this side because H space C. This is not valid assumption because H is also facing south and D is also facing south and A is also facing south. But in the question the information was given that the immediate neighbors of H are facing in opposite directions. Now, immediate neighbors of H are in opposite direction with respect to H, but the immediate neighbors of H over here are facing in the same direction as respect to H. So what we have to do? We cannot assume this. This is a wrong assumption. Okay? Now, this D, B space G can no more be used in the above arrangement. Then again we have the second part. G space BD. G space BD. Then we have H and C. H and C. Now, G is facing north. H is facing south. B is facing north. D is facing north. And what was the position of C given? C was facing in north direction. Yes or no? Now, as soon as we get this particular arrangement, what should we verify? Our verification step will be that the immediate neighbors of H are facing in same direction but opposite to the direction of H is facing. That was mentioned in your last line, that neighbors of H are facing in same direction which is opposite to the direction of H is facing. Now, H is facing in north direction and the immediate neighbors of H are in same direction but opposite to the direction of H. So now we get a complete arrangement of the question. Now, we can answer the questions related to the question, and the questions are, who is sitting between A and H? Now, who is sitting between A and H? The answer is G. Now, how many persons are facing north? Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So there are 6 persons who are facing in north direction. Then we have G, then 6, then how many persons are sitting between E and B? So the persons sitting between E and B are A, G and H. The answer will be A, G and H. Okay. So I hope so you might have understand how to solve this particular question and what should be the approach for this particular question. Okay. Okay. Thank you.